Adding a vertical scrolling carousel for your images inside an Elementor could not be easier. Now I'm showing you one that is 100 VH, so it's full height of the screen, but you could set this up to be 50 VH or 300 pixels high, and I've refined the code for this to make it even better for your mobile. Let's go and explore how this was built. Believe me, I'm not lying about how simple and easy this is. This all sits inside of one parent container. Now, this parent container has been set to be 100% in width and 100 VH, but you could have refined it to be 50 VH or 300 pixels high. That's totally okay. So it doesn't have to be a full height container. So it might be part of your hero banner, or it could be somewhere else on your page, and you have so much control. Now, if anyone watching this says there's a lot of repeated images, that's just because I just repeated the images just to fill out what I was showing over here. But I will talk to you more about that in a moment. This parent container is set as a row, and it is set to wrap as well. You don't have to go for wrap, but I just want to show you that it will still work. I've got everything justified to the left, and I've got a gap of 12. Now, inside of this parent container, we actually have 4 child containers. We have child 1, child 2, child 3, and we have a text container. That's just this container over here. Currently set to be 36%. You can stick what you want into there: headline, text editor, call to action button. It's these 3 child containers that are important. Now, you will also notice that in the parent container, I have a HTML script. We will come back to this because this is important for your gradient, your number of images, how big it will be, and what the speed is. Now, let's just focus on the child containers, and then we'll go back to that code because it is important. This child container is set to be 10%. Child 1, child 2, and child 3, they are all 10%. You can make them wider if you want. You can make it full width if you want, depending on the size of your images. I've got it set to be 10%, which I think looks pretty okay when you're looking it on the screen. So don't be fooled by thinking 10% is quite small. It actually works really well. Now, inside of here, we have another sub-child container. You might think, aren't we overusing containers to get this effect to work? This is what you got to do. So let me just backtrack, right? Keep it simple. Parent container. Inside of there, we have a child container. Inside of the child container, we have a sub-child. And then inside of the subchild is where I've gone and added in my images. Now let's just stay on the child container. This is set to be 10%. You go to the style tab, there's nothing really happening. What I have done though is giving it a class name. So child container 1 and child container number 3 are currently set to be up. So they will start moving up. But child container number 2, if we go to the advanced tab, that is set to be down. And what that means is it starts as it's moving downwards. Now, you will notice, and I hope you've picked up on this the longer you're staring at the screen, is that when the images get all the way to the top, they kind of reverse and go back down. So even though it starts as up, if you've got 20 images, once it's shown all 20, it will then start to come down. And the middle one that was going down, when it is now shown all 20 images, it will reverse back up. Some of you would love an infinite scrolling effect. I could not crack that. And believe me, what I'm going to show you is really easy and simple. Okay, so far, nothing I've shown you should be too difficult to comprehend. We've got 3 child containers. Just give the outer ones the class name of up, the middle one down. But you could have it the other way around and have down on the outer ones and up in the middle, because it's going to reverse anyway. Now, inside of each child container, we have a subchild. The subchild is currently just set to be 100% because our child container is set to be 10%, but I want the subchild inside to be 100% of the child. So if my child is that big, I want the subchild inside to be 100% of that particular size. There's no need to set any margins or padding, but what you must do is ensure that every subchild has the class name of scroll container. So if I go to the middle child and I expand on that and I go to the subchild, if you go to the advanced tab, again, we have scroll container. If you don't add that, it just won't work. So up, up, down in the middle, or you could swap it around, and then make sure your subchild inside is a scroll container. Okay, you with me so far? And then inside of each of the subchilds, and I'll just expand on that and show you, and if I do it to this one as well, you'll see we just got loads of images. Now, I have purposely put 10 images into each subchild because our code must relate back to that number. So if you stick 5, remember you did 5, and you got to make it consistent. Don't do 5 images, 5 images, and 4 images. You got to make sure you got a consistent number. So inside of here, I've got images. And the images are literally just images, right? And I haven't done anything. I've given them a bit of a border radius. So if you want to give you some of your images a border radius, you can control and do that. And there's no class name. There's no margin padding. I've just left it as it is. Got your child container, which is up or down. Your subchild, which is scroll container. And then inside of that, I've just put in loads of images. Okay, that's what you do. Now then, let's go to the HTML code because this is controlling the magic. This bit of code might look a little bit complex, but there's only a few things you need to alter. A link to this improved version of a code that I released, about a year ago now. I've gone and improved it a little bit just to make it better for your mobile experience, but this code is going to serve you really, really well. All you've got to do is make sure you now reflect the values you are using elsewhere. So when I set up my parent container, I set it up to be 100 VH, and that is why I've got this value in over here. So if my parent container was 50 VH, put 50 in there. If your parent container was 400 pixels high, go and stick 400 pixels there. You gotta set a height, otherwise it needs to know when it starts and ends and rebounds and all of that. I then said my image height is 200. So if I was to now go and change this to be something like, let's go and pop in 20, you can now see the images are ridiculously small. We've got this massive space up and below. Because you've got to think logically about if I want this now to be 100 VH, and I've got 10 images, and I've gone and set them to be 20 pixel or 5 VH, is it really going to fill that entire estate? So I've gone and set them to be 200. Now, I hope you've noticed that there is a bit of a white gradient there above and below, and it creates this kind of like masking effect slightly. So it looks like the images are appearing and then they're fading out. Now, if you don't like that, you can get rid of this entire bit over here. And if you do that, you will now get this full on flat effect. So now it's not fading in and out at the top. It just looks like, well, basically some people like that effect. The reason why the fade-in effect can work for you really well is if I go to my parent container and I now set my background to say be a dark color like this, can you see how the fade works really, really well? Not so much with white, but that very much depends on your images. If your images are very faded or saturated, then the white can work well. To be honest, it's all down to your subjective preference over what you want to go for. So we've covered the top bit. Now, the middle bit over here is where we control the speed. So the ones that start off as going up, it will take them 25 seconds to go from the first image to the 10th. That might feel slow, but believe me, you don't want to have it like going up and down too quick. Let me explain. If I was to go and set this now, the up to be 2, can you see it's going to start rebounding and reversing? Now, when it rebounds, it does it in quite a smooth way, but it's going up and down quite a lot. And if you were to go for 200, it's now still moving, but at a much slower rate. But the one in the middle is moving faster. Why? Because it's still 25 seconds. So I've given you a load of control inside of here. So you could have your middle one going slower or faster than the outer ones. And don't forget, I added in 3 child containers. I could, if I want, add in another 5 and say up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, or down, 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 up. You can be, you can do what you want with this. You can be as creative as you want. That's how cool this is. And then we scroll down over here. This is where I'm setting the image. So this is now setting my width, it's setting my height, and my object fit is cover over that. So you could, if you want, override that in the style tab, but just do it here. So once you drop your images in, the code will handle it and hopefully look good. Now this is where it controls how it's moving, but again, you do not need to touch that. But the only other thing you might want to touch is the bottom. So even though I've gone and set what it will be for the desktop, I've got a bit of app media down here. And now I'm saying that I actually want the column height to only be 300 pixel. So if we go over to the mobile, you might have something that looks like this. Just bear in mind, though, you are still applying 25 seconds from top to bottom. It might look like it's moving quicker, but don't be fooled by that. Look at the speed of the desktop. It is exactly the same speed. Okay, look, keep staring at the ones on the outer and the middle. it is the same speed, but because it's smaller, it might look like it's going quicker. So if you feel like you actually want to make it taller, well, I'll just show you. Look, let me make it be 30. That's now ridiculously small. If I go and make it be 500, you can now make it bigger. So you have a bit of control over how big is your estate. You could, if you want, make this be 100 VH as well. So what we're altering is this bit over here. On the desktop, it's 100 VH. When we get down to maximum width of 500, so anything below 500 width, that particular column now is 300 VH. If you want to add in further breakpoints for your tablet, you can do. You might say that's still quite complex. I don't think it is. I think if you just work through that code and change the values I've mentioned about your speed or how big your container is, it is really, really simple. Because like I said, you've got a parent container. You then added in some child containers like what we have at the moment here. You go and set the width. Give them up, down, or whatever class name you want. It's pretty simple. Up, down, up, down. That's all you have to put in. You got your subchild container, scroll container. You make sure you pop that into every subchild. And then you stick your images in. But you must remember, if you've got 10 images inside of there, make sure over here, and I think I forgot to mention it, please make sure that matches. Because I'm just going to show you what would happen if I went and changed this to be 15. It will now be expecting 15 images. So now you're going to get a gap build up because you haven't satisfied it with the number of images. So what you want to do is make sure you go and stick that in. Play with it. Make it work for you. I'm Imran from Web Squadron. I hope you like the codes and things we're developing for your WordPress Elementor websites. Like, subscribe, share and follow. Go and join our YouTube channel for exclusive videos. Go and check out our courses and guides. And of course, I'll see you soon. Take care. Bye.